Hey, it's Zach, the Primal Dad Explained, and right here we got some fresh lion's mane, and I'm excited to try this because I've never tried this before. Camera setup, and I'll tell you what is so great about these lion's mane mushrooms. So I first heard of the lion's mane mushrooms on the Paul Stamets Joe Rogan podcast. And the mushrooms are supposed to be able to regenerate nerves and create new neural networks. So what he said about these mushrooms, he said that in a study of mice, they were put down a corridor and they could either go left or right. Left was food and right was a dead end. Obviously, pretty quickly, they all learned to turn left and go towards the food. Now, they gave the mice a neurotoxin and they forgot which way to go. So they didn't know which way to go because their brain got damaged from whatever poison they gave them. Then, over the next little bit, they gave them lion's mane, which we have right here. And their brains healed, and they remembered which way to go. So it's got these like little furry tentacles on it. It looks kind of cool. And I've never actually tried this. I've been trying to find this fresh for the last 6 months since I've seen that podcast. And I'm so excited because I've had a lot of mental things in my past. Since age 5, I stuttered until about, well, I still stutter, to be honest, but a lot less than I used to. And also at age 20, I had a psychotic episode where I was pretty fucked for about a year. And now I'm good. I've been good for like 5 years. And so for someone like me, or someone maybe with autism, this stuff could be good. But I really don't know. I don't think there's much studies on this stuff on humans, so I'm going to update you guys on how this stuff affects me. Give a little quick taste here. Ooh. I'm not sure if it's this much. I'm not sure if it's these ones that I got, but not the best tasting mushroom, I will be honest here. Has a bite to it, definitely. It's not a great bite either. I don't know if it's just these mushrooms. So another important thing is, if you listen to the Paul Stamets podcast, he says to make sure you get your mushrooms local and organically grown. And it's quite important with mushrooms because they consume nutrients of the soil. I'm not sure if these ones were organic. You know, they're not that bad. Definitely not tasty. I'll probably get used to it. Another thing about the Paul Stamets podcast. The other big nerve regenerator is psilocybin. And not that I'm big on going to do magic mushrooms, but he said when he was, I don't know, in his youth, he stuttered quite bad, was unable to talk to people, and then he took a huge mega dose of psilocybin, not knowing 100% how much he took, and tripped out. And after that, he said his stuttering was gone. Now, I'm not going to advocate doing psychoactive mushrooms. These ones are not psychoactive, and by the way. But he did say in his podcast that mixing lion's mane with psilocybin and I think biotin Not that we consume supplements on this diet, but you can find it in other things. He was saying if you mix those three, you'd have a synergistic effect. If I were to find wet psilocybin or wild, like psilocybin in the wild, I'd probably try some to see if there is that healing effect. Considering that I've stuttered for many years, although it's pretty much gone now. What else with the Paul Stamets? So for healing mushrooms, he listed a few, and if you're into using mushrooms, I would just watch the podcast because he has a lot of good information. But from vaguely what I remember, there was a few set of mushrooms that he recommended for their healing effect. Obviously, lion's mane, psilocybin for the brain and nerve regeneration, enoki mushrooms for general cancer reduction. He said shiitakes were good, and there's a couple other that I can't remember in this instant, but it's all in the podcast, and I'll give you a link, hopefully with a timestamp into that section. Yeah, so I guess I have a supplier of this stuff at the farmer's market here. I'll tell you how this goes. I'll tell you what effect this has on my brain over the next few months. Alright, I'll catch you next time.